where we sew on a Sunday. How fun is that? Anyway, let's see who is here. We have Kim, Angela, Vicky, Beverly, Carissa, Becca is here. I'm trying to see. Okay. Teresa, Angela, here for the fun. Welcome. Jim is here. Paula is here. June, Janice, and Bonnie so far. Hello, 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 everybody. So today I am going to continue on what I was doing last Sunday, which is I made my squared block, square and a square, pretty much, but a straight square instead of putting it on point and, you know, building a square that way. We did square and a square on a straight square. And I made, there's 8 of each color and there's 5 colors, and I have all these little pieces left over from cutting them out. So I'm going to sew these together now in an order, pretty much just the way they're laid out right here. And I'm going to sew these into strip sets of 5, and then I'm going to subcut them into 2.5-inch pieces. And remember, I only started this project with 1 yard of my background color, which is this right here, and there is not enough left over. I measured it out. There's not enough left over for me to do sashing between my blocks. So what I'm going to do instead is just directly put all my blocks together and then cut 1.5-inch strips from this and go all the way around my project, and then use my strip pieces as the border and be done. Make it easy and simple, just like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see, where did I end? So we got Katrina here, Diana here, Maggie is here, Bernie is here, Ellen is here, Robin, Joe is here, the other June is here. That's it. So hello everybody and welcome. I'm going to pass that reading torch over to Lisa? Hi Judy, hi Lisa. I'm going to pass the reading torch over to Scott, and I am going to start sewing the last of these into strip units of 5, and there's 8 different 8 from each, so I'll get 8 strip units of 5.
Miss Bonnie can continue.
And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to sew with a 1/4-inch seam. And
hi Bonnie, hi Teresa.
I'm going to change my stitch length a little bit shorter because I'm going to be subcutting these, so I don't want them like popping a seam, which they always do. So when I'm completely done with the project, I will sew a stay stitch all the way around because these will be open seams and I'm not putting anything else on afterwards. So I'm just trying to make it a little easy on myself. So I'm just going to start sewing these together and let's hang out while I do this. It's 118 out today for anybody that's ready to ask. So it's hot. Today's just like 2 degrees cooler than it has been all week. Because it's been hot all week here. And I'm actually just going to chain piece all these.
Hi Linda, hi BJ.
Hello, hello, welcome. Just working on last Sunday's project. I've seen in the Facebook group a couple of you are working on it too, and or done making your tops already. I started out with less fabric than some of you probably, so I have, mine will be different, but the same concept goes. I just pretty much was showing you how to make a block that you can do with jelly rolls. And if I would have done 2 jelly rolls, it probably would have been a lot bigger and a lot easier to, you know, make bigger. But I only had 1.
Hi Nancy. Did you tell me you finished the third quilt?
Yeah, Scott just reminded me. I finished the Dresden, the big Dresden plate quilt from our Dresden sew along. I finished it on the long arm, but I'm having video editing issues. It's corrupting my file every time I try to save it. So I'm going to try again today. I was on editing all day yesterday, like literally all day. I went from the computer to the phone, and I was, watching other people's videos at the same time from all my devices, killing them all as well. So they were all dead, and by the time it was like midnight, and it finally saved the last time, and it said corrupted, couldn't play the file. So I went in and changed some settings, and hopefully later tonight I'm going to do it one more time. If it doesn't work, you guys just won't get to see that video. The only other thing I can think of is recording the screen off of another device, but I think that would be kind of dumb. I'm not sure how that would even work. I've done it once before, so, but I don't know how it would work with a really good video, I guess.
Hi Heather, hi Joyce.
So you guys are just going to have to wait for that one, because I have no other way to edit it. And I could put it on the computer and pay an editing program, get an editing program on my computer, but my computer is not a very good computer. It's not meant for that kind of stuff, so I don't know how else I would edit it.
Hey Mary.
Welcome everybody joining in. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there.
Hi Darlene. Yep, we got Jim on here. I don't know about anyone else. But...
And for all those mothers who were fathers, who played both parts.
Yep, my mom was a single mom. You were too for a long time.
Yep. So I'm going to make these first, and then I'll start putting the blocks together. Because this is like the main of my sewing here. Is making all of these strip units with the leftovers. I'm going to be making mine square, so it'll be 6 across by 6 down, so it'll be 36 of the 40 blocks. And I could have made another block, obviously, because I have all these leftovers, but I didn't, because then I would have taken away from these pieces to be able to go all the way around as a border.
Am I ironing?
No, I'm finger pressing for now. You can iron them then.
That's what I meant. Should I plug the iron in one?
If you want to. It'll be a while.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just finger pressing these for now. Just so they stay open so that I can keep adding to them. And I'm going to finger press all the seams one direction. It really doesn't matter which way, as long as they're all flat. Because that's all that it needs to be, is nice and flat. Got a little cough going. Alright, so I'm just going to add this piece on and continue on with what I was doing. What is everybody working on? Scott, you can read that one.
Right now they're talking about weather stuff, being under storm watches and Kansas and whatever. Hi Kathy.
Welcome, welcome. Let me know what you're working on, everybody.
They're under storm watches and we were under severe heat warnings.
Yeah, it's hot here too.
Mary says Marty and I are diamond painting this afternoon. It's so fun.
Ah.
Kim says I finally got all sessions and borders cut for my wild Dresden. Paula says I am piecing a quilt top. Kathy says, what are you making?
I'm working on last week's square and a square project, making the borders.
Joe says finally quilting the broken dishes quilt. I'll be happy to move on from it. Katrina's just trying to do some more of her scrap blocks, one-handed. That's
You can
talented
do it.
there. That's talented. Darlene's working on dinner, then sewing borders on the Rainbow Flying Geese quilt. June is just crumb piecing. She has a lot of scraps to take care of. Here for the fun is doing free motion quilt. Patriotic quilt.
Ooh, just in time, 'cause
We-
it's almost July.
We like patriotic quilts. Those are some of my favorite. Hi Pat. Pat's trying to get some memory quilts done.
I have a patriotic quilt that I should put together.
Hi Diana. Diana's working on a quilt for her niece. Lisa's putting together Barbie pillowcases to match the girls' quilt.
Ah,
Hi Shelley.
hello.
Hi Denise.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Shelley. Heather asked, she's been researching sewing machines all day. She asked, which one will I buy? LOL.
There's so many to choose from. Choose the one that works best for you, though, or the things that you want to do.
Nancy's hand quilting her late husband's t-shirt quilt. He passed in 2012. She finished the top in 2012, but grief got in the way.
Oh, man.
Well, at least
Glad
you're getting to it now,
done.
Nancy. Get her done. Hi, Janice. Janice just finished the twisted log cabin blocks. Now to lay them out. Jim needs to cut a client quilt, but he's eating pizza. That's a common theme with Jim. Jim is eating pizza a lot of times. He makes me want pizza. But that's nothing new. I always want pizza.
Anybody else?
That's it for the moment. For the moment.
Oh,
Oh, Joyce is getting borders on two 2020 BUMs.
block 'em off.
Oh. I know some of the acronyms, but not all of them.
You're learning.
Yes, Janice, once we get ready to iron, we will be out.
Trying to put all the strip units together and then give them all to him at once so that I can do the layout.
Hi, Linda, thank you. Hi, JME Quilts. They're new to your channel, they say hi.
Hello. Oops, start from here, Tiffy, start from here, make it easier.
This is interesting. Nancy and her husband were paranormal investigators, so it's paranormal related shirts and black t-shirts that she's doing.
On the quilt, yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
the t-shirt
cool.
quilt.
That's
That
really
sounds
cool.
interesting. I'd have Scooby-Doo on there. Teresa's getting ready to bind the quilt. That's Teresa Louise.
Sounds like fun. I tried to long arm today, and I know some of you have probably seen last night's board video, and the sound is absolutely horrible, and so is like the video quality. I was thinking about pulling it, but so many people are watching it, so I just decided to leave it, even though it's horrible. That live stream actually worked from the iPhone, and it was because I was out in the living room and it only cut out one time. I thought that was kind of weird because we tried to use it in here and it did not even work for YouTube. So yeah, I'm never using that again, so don't worry about that. I will never use that as a live stream device. But I did some long arming today. All I'm doing is working with the black, since I have black was the last color I had on it. And I didn't want to change out threads like 500 times, so I just continuing on with all the black areas, and then I'll move on. But then I got so like irritated. I don't know why I was irritated today at the long arm, but I just was. Maybe it's just because I have OCD. I have a problem with making it perfect, and it wasn't perfect. Well, for my perfectness. So I kind of like stopped. But I at least got some done.
Hi, Rowena. Yes, Joyce, my name is Scott.
Yep, that's my husband, for anybody that's new to my channel. He's like the commentator. Reads the comments in the background. So that I can hear them. I get nothing done when I'm the one reading the comments. Let me tell you, it takes me so long to get anything done. So he reads.
And a lot of people don't like it, so I'm very picky and choosy of what comments I read because we get a lot of nasty comments. But oh well, Tiffy wants me to do it, so I do it. Anyway, Chris has shared cauliflower with the dog for supper. That sounds interesting.
Dogs eat cauliflower?
I didn't know that. We share cauliflower with our bunnies in the backyard.
Yeah, I didn't know dogs would eat cauliflower.
That's what I said. That sounds interesting.
I figured it'd be plain for them. Too plain.
JME Quilts is working on a pillow kit that they got from So Yeah.
I haven't bought anything from Soya in a long time because I've been broke. It's no joke being broke.
Hi, Nita.
Hello, hello.
Oh, Linda asked, what are you working on now?
Last week's project is square and square, so the blocks look like this. So I built a 2.5 inch square, cut off of our JellyRoll piece, two 2.5 by 1.5 inch strips, because I cut 1.5 inch strips, and then I have to remember, 4.5, two 4.5 by 1.5 inch strips, and then from the JellyRoll went 4.5 by 2.5, 4.5 by 2.5, and then 8.5 by 2.5 on the outsides. So last week's So Sunday video is when I started this.
Thank you, Jan. They're not really nasty, Teresa. They're just more kind of nitpicky and complaining. It's not like mean and nasty.
I just delete them. Some of them I leave, but some of them I delete. It's okay.
Joy says her dog does not eat veggies other than corn on the cob, but
Really?
loves watermelon.
Well, I've known dogs eat watermelon before, but not cauliflower. Heck, I won't even eat cauliflower unless it's dipped in ranch dressing. Or like cooked in cheese. Mm.
Rowena's still working on quadruple blocks and cleaning the sewing machines.
Alright, so my strip units are now together. I'm just gonna finger press and snip them apart and pass them to Scott to start ironing in a few minutes.
Shelly says she finally finished your Insomniac videos and she loves all of them. She hopes you continue to do them every once in a while.
Yeah, it's been hard because, like I've explained, he sleeps on the couch, so his couch is literally on the other side of this wall. So now, anytime I come in here, the only thing I can do is play with fabric, cut fabric, prep fabric, iron, things like that. But I can't use the sewing machine out of respect because he's sleeping, and
Yeah, I worked late last night.
he was up late last night, so I went on, but it wasn't an Insomniac video. It was just I'm bored because he wasn't here. And I needed something to do for the hour and a half that he was gone.
Krista says my dog eats everything. That's the one with the cauliflower.
Wow. That's cool though. So once these are all ironed, I'll subcut them. For now, I'm just going to start building the top by putting the blocks in an order and then start sewing them together.
Diana asked, do you have any suggestions for Christmas? I know it's only June, but I would love to make my family some gifts since last year we didn't get together. Any suggestions?
Quilts, pillow cases, throw pillows, the kind that you would put on a pillow form or just make a whole pillow and stuff it. Wallets, bags, anything that you can put together with fabric, honestly. Alright, there's those for you. And now I'm going to start.
I don't have to worry about ironing on a certain way, I'm just ironing.
Ironing watch, the seam is already pressed one way, so you just lay them like this and force the seams back like that.
Okay.
Just try not to, whatever.
What are you doing?
Distort it.
Read
I'll read them.
well, that's
you
up
can
to
read
you.
mine.
I don't know
I'm
what
going to
you're
be
doing.
putting these together now.
Oh,
So I'm going to do 6 across by 6 down.
hold on, did you give her suggestions?
Or, yeah, bags,
Oh, that's
you know.
right, I didn't do
cases like iPhone or iPad cases or any kind of tablet cases. They're, you make them out of fabric. You can make all sorts of things. Tons and tons. Tons and tons of stuff. So I'm going to scoop this down one.
Well, what seems to be very common on here in around that time is mug rubs.
Yeah,
You guys
mug
love your mug
rubs,
rubs.
pot holders, things like that.
Tracy says I would block them from the channel.
On that side. Oh,
He
then it
says
would
you're
go
in blood.
this one,
Hi, Sharon.
this one, then this one.
Sharon asks, are you using the accent in this border?
Yes, it's going to be the first border. And I'll have 6 blocks left over. So next row, let's start that in there.
Angela
Next one
asks,
is this one.
for a scrappy binding, what's the shortest length strips you would use?
No less than 1.5 inches. Hold on, I'm trying to I'm going backwards now. I have made myself backwards. Okay. I screwed myself up because I'm thinking. Tiffany, don't think. Just do. Stop. Just like that. Alright. Let's go that way.
Goodness, Chris, I want to come over to your house.
This would go that way. it's not gonna work that way because I'm doing 6. 1, 3.
Hi, Joy. Joy says, I love the green. It's my favorite color.
There. Starting from here, so technically that would go there. Okay, now I think I got it.
Mila says you need a design wall.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
She got her quilt ladders one thing at a time now, Mila.
Yeah, well, if I did have a design wall, it'd be where Scott's standing right now, where my ironing board is, so unfortunately, can't do that just yet. 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, maybe 5, right here. Yeah, whatever. And then go here.
That memories of the long arm quilter.
Here.
Thank you.
Here.
Mila says she has a portable one that is 6 foot by 6 and it has tent poles.
I have a portably type 1 in the garage, but I'm not digging it out. It's cardboard. This one here. You guys like how I'm just going to lay it out like this?
Sharon asked, did you square up the blocks first?
No, I'm just going to sew them to each other. So there, and that one will go there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one more would be 6. That will sit there, and that will sit there. That. And then this. Here. 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 Trying to make the most of the room I have right here. Oh. Normally I would make myself a little chart, but I did not do that. And this one would go here, bottom like that. So do that there.
Kim says the layout looks good, Tiff.
And this one. Here. There. 4, 5, 6. So that will go there. There. Where was I? This one.
You were saying there.
Yep. Talking to myself.
Squeak is over here having indigestion.
Go down there. Alright, now I'm missing the green. So the green is going on the opposite side of the green? No. It goes here. I'm lost again. Oh. This one right here. Goes here. And this one right here. Goes down there. Like that.
And here for the fun
1,
says, I love
2,
the
3,
teamwork.
4, 5. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 6. And then last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
Hi, Kathleen.
I think the last one in this row is this one. Makes 6. Like that.
And thank you. Diane says colors are very pretty.
Okay. So I'm going to pull the extra out and then stack my rows.
Treachery.
There we go. So I have 4 blocks left.
Have all these irons whenever you are ready, okay?
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you have 2 different shades of yellow, or is Carissa just seeing things?
She's just seeing things.
Okay. That's what she asked. Her eyes are playing with her.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Now to put the rows together. So I'm just going to alternate the way that they go together. So if the 2 seams come together this way, I'm going to put the straight one this way. So on and so forth. And I did not trim my blocks, I'm just sewing them together. So it should come out just fine. And I'm always going to press towards the straight block. That way they'll alternate throughout the whole entire thing. You could probably trim them if you want to, but it's the 8.5. But I'm just, it's all it is trimming off the pinked edges. Maybe straightening them up a little bit, but I think they're good.
Hi, Brenda.
Hello.
Marla needs to get busy on her Dresden. Hi, Sharon.
I finished mine and I went home to the client. Very, very pleased and happy and thankful client. Alright. So here's row 1. Actually, I'm just going to lay them on the ironing board, that way I can still see.
Am I ironing those now?
You can if you want to. I'm laying them out so that I can remember which way I'm doing things. So
Or
this
do they
row
not need iron done?
starts this way, like this. Alright. I'm just alternating which way the blocks are going. If you were doing sashing, then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
You have 3 other Dresdens going at once, Marla? Or do you have 3 other projects going? Because Tiff has many projects going, but she only did 1 Dresden at a time. She says I have 3 other ones going also, so I don't know if she's doing 4 Dresdens at once, or I don't know. Hi, Billy. Billy says hello.
Hello. Welcome everybody joining. I'm trying to concentrate. Since I didn't lay anything out. I mean, I did kind of lay it out, but not my normal laying out. Just kind of hoping that it looks good.
It's three other Quilts, not Dresdens. Okay. Hi, Heather. Hi, Patrice. I'll just call you Miss Taylor because I'm going to mess up your
Patrice?
first name. What's T-R-A-Z?
Huh?
T-R-A-Z?
Oh, I
Trad?
don't know.
Oh, she's from the Bahamas.
Ooh.
I'm sorry if I messed your name up. I'll just go with Miss Taylor.
All right, to keep myself from getting out of order, I'm going to sew these 2 rows together. I know I did not press them yet, but Scott can press them.
I asked you if you wanted me to press
I meant
them.
after I'm done sewing these 2 together.
Okay.
Like I'll do every 2 since I'm sewing. So I'm going to nest my seams. They should alternate as long as you're pressing towards the flat side, the side with no seams.
Hi, Glennie. Glennie says you need to battle Brody.
I kind of figured I'd do that. This one I just did the green.
I'm just going to take it from you so I can iron it.
I need to keep track of which way I'm going real quick.
Oh, okay.
Push them all that way. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just trying to... That way I can keep track.
Nancy says she would love to see you battle. Now they're all going to talk about that.
Yeah. I kind of figured it'd get brought up. Alright, so the next one is going to go
Okay, am I ready to iron now?
up and down this way. Okay. Oops, nope. Close. Up and down this way. I gotta remember that I'm going upside down because I'm going from the sideways than the way I laid it out.
Katrina says if you do battle, and make sure they send you a store map.
Yeah. I've been there though, so it's okay. Unless they've moved it around since the last time I was there.
It's been a while since we were out there. How long ago was that?
3 months because my surgery was 3 months ago.
February?
March.
March? It was pretty hot.
Popped thread. Don't you hate when that happens? I have to train myself not to run anything next to the sewing machine. So I always do that, and then I knock my needle or my thread out of my needle.
Where do you want me to put this next time?
Just leave it right there.
Leave it here? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to go back to my spot.
That way I can keep track. So I'm doing every 2. Go.
Quick preview of a monster laying on his little bag. It's his spot in this room.
This has to be on that bag.
Either that or in the shoebox, but the shoebox is full with cords at the moment. No iron. Yes. It's on his little spot. Here for the fun, ask which Juki are you sewing with?
The TL 2010Q.
They bought their. She's been a Genome girl for years, but in February she bought her first Juki. It's the 2020 PE, and she's so in love with it.
Yeah.
Is that newer than yours? Since yours is a 2010, it's 2020.
It's just a different style. That's all. It doesn't mean that it's newer or not newer.
Oh, okay.
Oops, this one's got to start this way. Like that. Okay.
So, should I iron this one, or do you want me to wait till you get two?
Just wait till I have two.
Okay.
It's going faster than I thought it would. It'll be together in no time.
Heather likes the 2020 PE also. She says that's the one that I'm most interested in.
Hmm. Is it a straight stitch machine, or does it do embroidery, or what is it?
About her son, plus affiliate.
And if you guys didn't know, anybody that's interested, in the description below every single video, I am an affiliate for SewingMachinesPlus. They ship anywhere in the United States. I don't know if they ship around the world, but I know they ship all over the United States. So if you guys are interested, just click on my link and use that when you purchase something. It's at no cost to you, and it helps me out to support my channel.
Hi Lisa. Lisa says hello.
And they not only sell sewing machines, but they sell long arms, they sell fabric, they sell notions, they sell lots of stuff.
Lisa says, love the sound of the machine.
So do I.
Bernie asks if you've made Thumper a quilt.
Did I what?
Make Thumper a quilt. Yes.
Yes, Thumper has his own quilt. I made it a long time ago when I first started using this room. I started it when I was in my bedroom sewing, but when I first started using this room is when I quilted it, because it was like right at the transition.
Jamie Quilts asks, what kind of long arm do you have?
I have a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition.
Hi Sandy.
I love my machine. It may have its quirks, which is, you know, the screen. For me, it's the screen, and that's the special edition part. If you guys were to have gotten a regular one, King Quilter 2 Elite, it has a different screen, and it's all different setup. And then the computerized version also is its own screen and its own setup.
Ours isn't computerized though. Ours is 100% Tiffany.
I just wanted a bigger screen so that I can see because of my visual issues, because I'm peripherally blind, so. My eyes don't focus like everybody else. They want to like stray into the darkness, and then I get double vision really easily, and it sucks. So I wanted to be able to see the tablet screen very well.
Marla says you need to make Thumper a quilt with Milky on one side and an empty cereal bag in it so it crinkles.
He wouldn't lay on it.
What is Milky?
What is what?
Milky.
I have no idea.
I don't know what that is. She says with Milky on one side.
He doesn't even lay on his quilt. He's a weird cat. He likes things that are not his.
Yes, Jamie Quilts. Hers is all hand guided. Hers is all by her.
Yeah. It's all me.
Oh, she meant Minky, not Milky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he wouldn't use it. He's very weird. He'll just lay on my my anti-fatigue mats on the floor in front of my long arm. He lays on those quite often, and he likes to dig at them because they have a little bit of a roughness to them. One of them has more of a roughness than the other. But yeah, he likes to lay in boxes. He likes to lay on the floor next to the bed instead of laying on his pillow on the bed. He's a weird cat. Very weird kitty. No, 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 no. Yes, yes. Okay, starting this one.
He changes spots a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's necessarily
he has
weird,
those,
he just
like,
changes his spots a lot.
He has cat towers. And when we brought the long arm in the house, he wouldn't lay in his cat tower, the one that he always laid in, that had his own, he has a little fleece blanket, and he laid in it all the time. But when we moved the living room around, he got mad and he wouldn't lay in it where we put it in its new spot because its old spot was right where my long arm sits. So he got mad and stopped laying in it there, and then he started laying more in the room on his pillow. Then he puked on his pillow and has not laid on it since, and decided he wants to lay now in the cat tower, which he didn't want in the first place, and now he refuses to lay on his pillow.
Every other week he changes his mind.
He's a weird cat.
He had a spot on the couch he could lay on, one spot for a long time. He changed that. He has a chair, a kitchen table that he'll lay on, which he's back to laying on now.
Yeah, he constantly changing his kitty's cat laying spot.
He laid on that one.
He's not a cuddly cat either, so he doesn't lay with us. He won't, he'll sit at our feet at the end of the bed, but other than that, he's not a one that comes up and purrs like most cats and wants you to pet them and spins around you forever. He doesn't do that. Unless he's hungry, and he only does that on the floor. He's quite different from other cats.
Hi, Judy.
He's actually the first cat I've ever had that's not wanted human attention, like, all the time.
Did you get your handlebars back yet? Heather, yes.
Yes, I got my handlebars.
Yep, Heather, that's him. She says cats are weird in general. Buy them a bed, they lay in the box the bed came in.
Yep.
Hi, Deanne. Thank you. She says love the green quilt.
Yes, it'll be very cute. It's gonna be like 50 something by 50 something. Not exactly 100% sure at the very moment. Alright, last row to put together. And this one's going to start, oops, it starts from the bottom. It's going to start that way. Okay.
Is there another one on there for me?
No, not yet. Trying to get things done.
Thank you, Judy.
That one picked up all the dust from my table.
I'll remember Thumper's spot on that practice quilt next to the long
Oh
one.
yeah, he hit for a while. You guys remember when I did my blindfolded quilting? Well, that practice blindfolded quilting piece that I made, that I was just quilting on, he turned that into a tent bed for a while, and we couldn't find him for the longest time because we never assumed that he'd lay. He like literally dug a hole underneath it because it's just thrown behind the long arm on the floor. Just in case I want to practice something, I can like just throw it on long arm with the red snappers and start quilting on it. But yeah, he for a while was hiding in that. Was very weird.
For the longest time, that was his spot. Now he doesn't go near it. But thank you, Lisa. We get a lot of complaints, so thank you for that.
What?
Me reading the chat.
Oh.
She said it's so nice that I read the chat for you.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
We get a lot of complaints from
Most
you
of the
doing
complaints is because he interrupts me. But unfortunately, how else is he supposed to get my attention? I have a mind of my own, and I kind of ramble too much. And if I need to get off of a subject or say something or be reminded of something, he's going to have to interrupt me. I mean, he doesn't like rudely interrupt me. He just kind of nicely says, you know, something. And I don't mind him reading over my talking because I would like to know what you guys are saying because I can't see it myself. I struggle with the reading comments and sewing and teaching. It's really hard for me to do. I did it for a long time all by myself and I never got to everybody's questions. And then the times I did get to all the questions, I didn't get to, I didn't get too much sewing done. Now I get a lot more accomplished in a video. And I get to hear everything that everyone's saying.
Yes, Marla, we do get complaints. Not a lot, but we get some. It happens.
It's pretty much all the people that give me the thumbs down. Most likely. But I don't care. Whatever, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I do my channel the way I'm comfortable. So does other people.
Well, I don't read every single comment either. I never tell them I get that. I do a lot. I try to do only the sewing related ones.
This one back that way. I will put these two.
The bottom one was the first one.
Okay, let's put these two together. So the top is almost done. I just have to cut my first border, which will be 1.5 inch strips from that.
Well, thank you here for the fun.
He came in here to be Iron Man and read comments. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't want to be on camera.
He doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't want to be whatever, but he could be the voice behind the camera.
Well, they have the old saying, behind every great woman is a man. I mean, behind every great man is a woman. That old saying, so I'm the voice behind the magnificent Tiffany. I'm the man behind the woman.
All right. He's pressing still.
Oh, you done with another one? I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I was taking my time because I didn't think you were ready.
Just like everyone else, you should automatically assume that I am fast.
Well, I know you're fast, but...
That's funny.
Yes, Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. Squeak is out. I'm using him. At the moment, Tiff is actually using him, but he's out. He's what we're using.
Right. Grab the last row.
Thank you, Deanne.
And attach. Let's make sure I got it correct, though. Does it look like it's tapering down?
Tapering down.
Yes. This way. All right, last set of 2 to connect, and then it'll be ready for borders, which should go pretty quick. Literally have to like hold it.
Hi, Teresa.
Hello. Welcome anybody that's joining in. We're working on last Sunday's project for those that are coming on. Made a square and square, now I'm putting it together as a quilt. I really, really wanted to sash it, but unfortunately I allowed myself only 1 yard of fabric because that's what I did. I could have did more, but I just allowed 1 yard and that's it.
Hi, Sarah.
So it's just going to be a small kid size, lap size quilt. It's not going to be very, very big.
Dan says, wow, Tiffany, you're a speed demon.
Yeah.
Yes, Deanna, she'll hold it up when she's done. Don't worry.
You guys will see what I have created. Technically, this project could have been made in 1 day, but I split it up into 2 videos, so.
Well, your last week's video was 2.5 hours long almost.
Huh?
Your last week's video was almost 2.5 hours long, and you're at another hour. So yeah, you would have been going for like 4 or 5 hours.
I'm just saying that if someone wanted to make this, they could make it in 1 day.
Oh, I meant for you doing video. Never mind. I'm sorry. Hi, Deborah. What's a pro stitcher? On Tuesday, Teresa's going to be getting her first lesson on a pro stitcher.
It's the automatic computerized system.
Oh, fancy.
That's Teresa McBrayer, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Teresa
she
McBrayer.
has the computerized system. Alright, so here is the top so far. Can you see the whole thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to move the camera here. Yes, now you can. I could have held it up for you.
So here's the top so far. So now I'm going to go around it with 1.5 inch strips. So I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. No, I'll just cut 7.
Before you get too far.
Aw, thank you, Becca. I love you.
I didn't even know she was
heart.
still on.
I don't know how to do a heart. Okay. Big hug. How about that? A big
Very
Tiffy
kind
bear
of you,
hug.
Becca. We appreciate that. She said, love you, girlie.
Okay. Where am I? Let's get this.
And Teresa Louise asked, do you think the binding wheel is worth using?
Yeah, I have been using it. I just took actually the last of the binding off of it from my last project. So I use it all the time now. So thank you, Becca, for sending it to me because
Yes, that was another one of Becca's.
I use it constantly. All right, so 1.5 inch strips. I'm going to cut, what did I just say? 7 of them? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to cut 7.
Becca says I need another trip west so we can go get crappy Mexican again.
Oh, yeah. You mean so Scott can eat all the leftovers?
Hey, I thought it was good. Our neighbors make better, but that's homemade, so.
Three.
Sandy says, love it, Tiffany.
See, I knew I wasn't going to have enough to sash or anything. 4. There's no way this would have.
Hi, Podunk Pretties.
5.
Oh, here, I can hold up the binding.
6. Here you go.
Okay. This might be too close up. It's just a cool little wheel that holds the binding on.
Hold on.
And here's the little clamp that will hold it down on your desk.
It's made by Purple Hobbies. It's made by Purple Hobbies, for anybody that's curious.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if you guys contact Stephanie, Stephanie Stitches, she might be able to get that in her shop if you guys are interested. I'm just going to continue cutting these because this can go in my stash, whatever I don't use, already pre-cut for me.
We live in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, JME Quilts. And it is hot here.
Yes, it's super hot here.
Oh, Becca posted the site, thepurplehobbies.com. Thank you, Becca.
I knew somebody could figure it out. Alright.
Kathleen asks, do you follow Gudrun Age Designs?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Gudrun, oh, she might be
I
spelling
don't.
stuff wrong.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I'm gonna hook all 7 of these together, and then I'm just gonna build them on to the quilt.
Podunk has a code for the binding wheel. Is she allowed to post it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't care.
Yes, post your code. We don't mind.
I don't get stuff like that. I'm cutting all the salvages off at once. I could probably sew with, but then I'd still have to trim them either way, so I'm just going to cut them. Make it easier on myself.
Okay, yeah, Becca says Stephanie definitely carries this.
Okay.
Goodness, I couldn't say Stephanie and definitely together.
You can put a link to Steph's shop if you would, Becca. Scott still doesn't know how to do links yet. I tried to show him, he still doesn't understand it.
Tried to show me.
Alright, let me just get rid of all the salvages at one time.
Yes, Kathleen, email it to her, so that way she'll know what all exactly you're talking about.
And I'm going to hook them all together in one long strip, except I'm going to measure them to size to put them on because I still have to subcut the borders. But for those that are curious about how I do this, I stack them all up, pull the bottom piece. Now every 2 pieces that you grab should be right sides together. And I just chain piece them through. And that puts me having a really long strip all together at once. I'll just grab every 2 and sew them together. And then there'll be one left at the end. Sometimes I attach with them all together like this as one. Sometimes I measure them to size. This time I'm going to measure them to size. That way my seams don't end in a certain spot. And then put the border on because I want it to stay as square as possible. Because I didn't trim anything. So, but it laid together nicely. If I wouldn't have used pinked edges, I probably would have had it even more square block, but the pinked edges made it feel like they were wonky, but they were not. Alright. So now I'm going to iron this. Only the seams.
You want me to turn the camera?
No,
Or
you
you
don't
be
have
ironing?
to. I'm just ironing the seams down real quick so that I'm going to bring the whole project to the table
Okay.
in a second. Actually, I'll just do it from the ironing board.
Should I move the binding wheel? Is that in the way?
Oh, no. No, kitty.
Since you're using my iron at the moment, I can do something.
Alright. So what we want to do is, I guess you could face the camera this way.
Okay. I would be glad to do that.
what we're going to do is take this right here, your border piece, and I'm going to lay it up here from one end to the other, like that. And then I'm going to flatten it out. I kind of like go about at a seam because I know it's nice and tight at the seam. And then I'm just going to cut it to size. So I'm going to cut two this size. I'm going to cut two strips that length because that'll be for the two top and bottom, or side to side. It doesn't really matter what you want to consider it. And I'm just cutting them to size with scissors. And then I'm going to sew those on, and then we'll lay it out again and add the next two pieces. So I'm going to put this one up here, and then the other one will go down on the other side.
For everyone that's been asking, there's Squeak. He's out and in the works. Now we're going back over here.
So now, I don't always do this, and you can pin them. I don't ever pin, but they're cut to size, so it should fit perfectly. Just going to sew it on with a 1/4 inch seam all the way down, and then I'll have Scott press it back and we'll add the sides. And we're going to measure those first as well. That way it's like mostly accurate. Minus the I didn't pin part, so that's as accurate as it's going to get. I don't think the plug is plugged in all the way.
What?
On the tablet, I don't think it's pushed in all the way.
Doesn't go in anymore.
I'm not pulling or tugging anything, I'm just straightening the quilt. And laying it on. Match up my end. Lay it on there.
Thank you, Heather. Heather says that looks real nice, Tiffany.
So now I'm going to go to the other side and attach it as well. And then we'll do the down the sides, and then we'll make the final borders. All the pieces are sewn together, so all I have to do is put them on. Well, subcut and then put them on.
Sharon asks, how wide was the border?
1.5 inches. I didn't have enough fabric for anything different, so. I have plenty of fabric in my room, I just didn't have enough. I chose 1 yard to work with my JellyRoll. I tend to push the limits of how much fabric I use when I make videos.
Thank you, Darlene. Darlene says, I like how you put the block colors in the quilt. Looks great.
Yeah. I would have done the same thing if I was sashing it. Alright. Press this back and we're going to do the same exact thing.
Oh, I'm not pressing? Okay.
I got it, I guess, because I'm right here.
I'll sit here and read that.
Okay, read.
I don't know what's in there. Oh, Sharon says thanks. Nancy says looks great, Tiff.
One side.
People are talking about the heat, how hot it is.
Try living here. It's hotter. Sorry, guys.
We had a record-breaking weekend here, actually. Our heat broke the record for this weekend. 1985 was the last record that it had just for this weekend alone, and we broke it. Hi, Linda. Thank you.
Alright, so now I'm going to lay the whole thing the opposite way. So I'm going to measure from this side to this side with my borders on, and then lay my next border on it, and then trim it.
I don't know exactly how hot it got, Podunk Pretties. Our record was in 1985 for this weekend was 118, and it supposedly got 120 this
22.
weekend.
It was 122.
122? Yeah. That's just for this weekend, though. That's not our record total high.
Cutting two. So these two on, and then we'll subcut and start putting borders on. Or together, I should say, because I have to sew them together once they're subcut. This will be my next piece.
Yes, sure, and it is. And yes, Podunk. Podunk says y'all are being cooked alive.
Yeah. I'm out in it all the time, though. Don't bother me none. I actually like the feel of the heat.
Yes, we don't have humidity pretty much at all. It is a dry heat. I know it's a dumb saying, especially around here. But without the humidity, it is bearable, I guess. I still don't like it, but it's livable. I don't like the humidity at all, neither does Tiff. I grew up in it, and I'm not used to it anymore. I went back to visit years ago, and I couldn't take it. There's a lot of things that can't happen in the heat, Marla, just like in the cold. If people have to have heaters on their cars or whatever for their car batteries and their blocks in the extreme cold, just like here.
It's best if you have a garage to put your car in.
The heat will kill batteries, it will kill paint. If you leave your windows all the way up without being open a crack or two, they will burst.
Yep. It'll eat your car tires. You'll need tires more often in a place like here. Scott gets bubbles in his tires all the time. All the time.
Yep, I have one now. We're going to change it later on tonight.
My car sits in the garage, so I don't really, other than that, I only have battery problems.
Yeah, it ruins car batteries quick.
Yeah, car batteries are the fastest.
I don't know about that, Mary, but I used to do roofing in it, and I couldn't stand on one spot on the roof because it would burn through my feet. I had to constantly walk around. It was so hot, you couldn't stay still on one spot. You had to constantly be moving.
Yep.
Sun poisoning is little blisters you get on your skin. Jim asked what is sun poisoning.
Oh, yeah. Think of poison oak, except from the sun.
It doesn't itch.
It doesn't itch. It's just little blisters.
It's little blistering that'll pop up. Normally when you get real bad sunburn, they call it sun poison, and your skin will get covered with little blisters.
Okay. Now that that's done, you can press those back, please. And I'm going to start cutting the next pieces. Just this side and the other side, Mr. Scotty.
I'm reading, hold on.
Alright, so now I'm going to, while he presses that, I'm going to subcut all of these into 2.5 inch. I'm just going to lay them on top of each other. I don't want to be too much bigger than my ruler. That's what I'm doing. Just going to make nice long piece. I'm kind of like, that way I don't have all the seams in one spot, I'm just stacking them nicely. I'll do 4 at a time because my ruler isn't that big.
Yes, Diane, that is true. According to my neighbor man, it was 109 the other night here. Yep.
Okay.
When it's over 100 in the middle of the night or early in the morning, you know it's hot.
So I'm going to cut all these at the same exact time. Turn it around, and I'm going to subcut 2.5 inch. One, two, three, four. Yeah, I'll just cut 2.5 inch.
Well, Jim never heard that term before, sun poisoning.
Alright, so I'm subcutting 2.5 inch strips, and then I'm going to sew them together end to end, and then build them onto the quilt.
Well, Jim, you've heard of the farmer's tan, right? The guys that get tan from their t-shirt, from their arm on down. Well, I leave my arm on the windowsill or out the window, and I get sun poisoning on my arm, on my forearm a lot from just driving with my arm out.
It's good still. It just looks crooked.
Because we don't have AC in my car. Tiff's car has AC, but mine doesn't. So I'll get sun poisoning from having my arm just out the window.
And just because I like making things, and I know I'll do it later, I'm going to subcut that last into a 1.5 inch strip for something else. So now I'm going to hook these end to end. Finish cutting all these. I'll probably have them way more than I need, but I will utilize it because I always use all of my scraps. So everything that's left I'll just use in the back of the quilt. And I put it together.
Years ago when I was younger, Marla, I didn't like to use the AC in vehicles either. I had a pickup truck that had very good AC and I never used it. But now that I'm getting older, if my car had AC, I would use it.
I use it in mine.
Yep, we use it in Tiff's whenever we go anywhere, but my car doesn't have it, so I can't use it. But I do tend to miss it.
Oops, stay. Turn the whole thing around. 2.5 inch subcuts.
So since I'm the one that's supposed to keep us on topic and I got us way off topic, does anybody have any quilting questions for Tiff? Sewing, quilting, any questions? Hi Earl, and thank you. Same to you, bud. Happy Father's Day. Sharon asks, how many layers do you cut at a time?
A lot. This was 4.
Right now, okay. Right now it's 4.
They were staggered so that the seams weren't right on top of each other. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just hook them end to end, end to end, and just make a big long piece. So I'm just going to go like this, grab the next one, put it on here, and just keep hooking them end to end until I have a really long piece.
Our device is plugged in. It's just, I think it's getting to the end of its thing. It's getting fuzzy.
It's getting
too.
old. So I'm going to grab this end right here, so you can see I'm making like a fold right here, and I'm going to hook the next one to that. I'm just going to keep putting them end to end. Line it up first.
Members of a long arm quilter asked, what cutting mat do you use?
What, cutting what?
Mat.
This is a Postcards. It's a 24 by 36. Someday I want a cutting mat that's 36 by 72, because that's how big my table is, and I want a custom cutting mat for my table.
Thank you, Diane.
So I'm literally just hooking these end to end. I'm also back stitching.
I plugged it back in and it stopped, but now it's doing it again. I don't know what to tell you guys. I can unplug it again.
It's probably hot, maybe.
Well, it's only been an hour and 19 minutes. Just last week we went 2.5 hours. Problem is, it's getting old.
Yeah.
All of our devices are on their last leg. You guys are just gonna have to stay patient. We did get new phones. They are coming. Since T-Mobile bought out Sprint, they sent this thing in the mail saying all of our Sprint phones are no good anymore, that we had to get new phones. Because as of January, our Sprint phones would not work.
So we ordered new phones, and we won't have them until July, though, because everything is on back order.
Yep, they gave us a deal. We got new phones for free. They were free. We had to pay the tax and an upgrade fee, but still, it's a brand new phone for around $50 or less each phone. So we went with it. So we have new phones coming.
They're not the best, but it'll work.
Well, they're new, brand new, so hopefully they work. I don't know if they do, Mary. My car is far from brand new. It's a 95.
He drives a 95 Geo Metro Hillbilly piece of junk.
It's 3 different colors. I drive it because it gets 40 miles a gallon in town.
It's the ugliest car on our street, at least. There's some ugly ones in town. His is the ugliest on our street. It's so ugly I won't go in it.
I don't know.
I hate it.
Up there, he has some ugly vehicles.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's interesting, Heather.
Hmm.
Father's Day in Australia is in September.
Interesting.
My birthday's in September. That would work out. Hi, Debbie. Debbie says hello.
Hello. I'm literally hooking these all end to end, and it's probably going to be bigger than I need, but we're going to make it. I'll just unpick a seam if I have to, for however long I need.
Marla says you need to sell more quilts.
Yes, I do.
Well, we have
I
a
need
bunch
more
on.
than you guys, though, as I can't. I don't like. I mean, it doesn't matter who they go to, honestly, but I need a bigger than just quilters as my clientele. The people that come to me outside are not quilters. That's why they come to me for custom quilts. But I can't. I feel weird selling all my quilts to quilters that can make them themselves. You know.
We have a bunch on Etsy, and I'm trying to do another quilt show this Saturday, if Tiff agrees to it. I've been bugging her to do a quilt show for some time.
Yeah, I have a lot to get rid of.
Well, we're calling it a quilt show because whether you guys buy it or not, you guys get to sit and look at quilts for an hour, and they are all beautiful. There's new ones. There's at least 3 or 4. Is there 4 new ones?
Yeah.
There's 4 new ones that you guys haven't seen yet.
Well, they have.
Well, if you watch the videos on them being made, they've seen them, but they haven't been seen in a show. So hopefully we are going to have our own little quilt show on Saturday. Hopefully. No guarantees.
Thumper's staring at the quilt waving from the air conditioning. Oh, you didn't press those yet?
Yeah, I did.
You gotta do that side too.
Oh, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me. I only did the top. We had a Ford F-350 that was in the 90s. I forget what year it was.
Like a 96
Yeah.
or 98.
Well, Podunk had a 94 F-150, and I miss our Ford. I don't miss the gas mileage it got. That's why we sold it.
We had a Ford F-350 dually crew cab.
It wasn't a dually.
I mean, not dually.
Long bed.
Long bed crew cab.
It was as long as a limo. Got 11 miles a gallon in town on a good day. Most days it got 9 or 10. So that's why we got rid of it. But it was a great truck. Hi, Zella.
Alright. Literally hooking these all end to end to end. Over and over.
Good night, Mary.
Night to those leaving.
Okay, Tiffy, there you go. Now it is on both sides.
Thank you.
I thought you meant the sides. I did that. You did those. Sorry.
Hope this fits on there nicely. Pretty sure this is going to be plenty long. I'm going to snip it now because I'm pretty sure this is plenty long.
Okay, back to actual quilt stuff. Let's see. Memoirs of a Long-Arm Quilter said earlier that her Martelli RC blade was shot after a small project because of my mat. Looking for a cheaper alternative until I can afford one of theirs.
One of their mats, you mean?
I think so.
I just use the Fiskar mats because they're cheaper and they're replaced for life if something happens to them. Okay, I'm going to assume that this is at least long enough for one side. I'll attach more to it later. I'm not even going to press it. I'm just going to start sewing it on. So I have this really, really long strip. I'm just going to lay it right here next to me. I'm going to lay that right up there. We're going to grab the quilt top and sew them on. And if I have to add more, I'll add more. Okay. Hi. Alright. Here we go. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to need, but I'm just going to sew it. Maybe I'll sew it. Now I am out of bobbin. Should be enough to go all the way around, hopefully.
Tip changes her bobbin. We're going to take a sneak peek. He's trying to crawl into his box now. He's been throwing a fit over it because he's really wanted in it while the quilt was there being ironed. Sharon says thank you. She didn't know that about the cutting mats.
I don't know however many other companies replace for life, but I save all my receipts, so if something did happen to this cutting mat, I have the receipt for it. I may have to take a couple days to dig through the pile of receipts, but I still have it. I've already had 2 mats replaced, and it wasn't because of their quality or whatever. One showed up in the mail bent, and I could not get the fold out, so we sent it back and they sent me a new one. And then the next one, it was because it rippled. I accidentally laid the iron on it, and I told them, this, show us the receipt and we'll send you one. So now I have 2, because I didn't have to take the other one back. They just sent it to me. They don't want the ruined ones. The one that came bowed in the mail, obviously, that one went back.
Marla said she's had bad luck with Fiskar's mats. And she says her blades don't last long either. Might be pushing too hard.
Mine lasts forever.
Better.
I rarely change my blade, but everybody has different pressure, and I cut all over my mat. I don't cut in the same spots over and over, because that will dull your blade and dull your mat, because you're constantly in the same groove over and over again. I also flip my mat often, so I don't just use this side of the mat, I'll use the dark gray side too, because there's a light side and a dark side. Rotating your mat is also good, and washing it is also good.
Poor Heather, she said she was able to get a Martelli cutter in Australia, but she has to wait 6 weeks for it to get there.
Oh man, yeah. This is gonna end, okay. It's gonna end not on a seam.
That's interesting. Deanna says I use the old used mats for tote/purse bottoms, but
That
remember to round the corners. So.
I've seen people use the old mats, they cut them into circles and put them on actual Lazy Susans from the dollar store or from, you know, thrift stores, making their own their own, what's the word for it? There's a word for it and I can't get it out. Rotating mat.
Marla says, yes, fish scars are double-sided. How do you, was it? Are you trying to say wash it? Do you wash it?
Yeah, I wash them in the bathtub. Alright, so I'm going to fold this back and trim off this excess, and then I'm going to just tear that seam apart. Get in there. There we go. And I'm just going to rip this seam off, because I'm not going to start it on a half of a seam.
Yes, she was trying to say wash. You wash it in the bathtub.
Yep, in the bathtub. And or out. I take it onto the back patio, just depends. And this one's actually... And the heat from outside where we live, if I washed it right, I wouldn't have to worry about it. It'll dry in like 5 seconds. I'll be putting it back in the house.
Yes, you can literally cook food if you just leave it sit outside. My neighbor man's actually done it with an egg before. I never knew anyone that actually did it with an egg, and I've been known for saying that for years. You can cook an egg, just sitting in a pan outside, and he's done it.
People can take, what is it called? A thing of cookies. People have tried the cookies on a bake pan and stick it on your dashboard of your car and leave it and see what happens.
Oh,
They kind of come out melty, funky. I don't think you want to eat them, but at least they come out.
Vicky asked, do you use soap on the mat? You already
Yes,
said you use
dish
dish soap, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm just going to have to unplug this, guys. I'm sorry. It's the tablet I like to use to talk to you guys on, but since we don't have anything else to stream from, we have to use this for streaming, and it is just not working tonight. Once we get the new phones, then I can have that to talk to you guys on, though, because that's the better tablet to use. The one I'm using to talk to you on is not the greatest. It's still being fuzzy. What is it?
I don't know what's wrong.
I can't take the cord out and I can't leave the cord in. It's fuzzy both ways. The cord has to be halfway. Doesn't matter how I move it or what I do. It has to be just a certain way. In other words, I can't move the daggone camera. Diana asked if anyone saw the video where she sewed through it, the mat. She sewed through her mat.
Who did?
Diane.
Oh,
57.
No.
Vicky's seen it.
Alright. Fold it back. I'm still going to rip off the excess that I don't need on this thing so I could start with a whole piece. But it's working out. And that's all that matters. Alright, Scott, can you press those back, please? And be very careful with it because they're all, the seams could open it.
What, where am I?
Push these back.
What am I doing?
Like that.
I'm ironing just this side?
Hope
The
so.
other side. Okay.
Alright. I think this is enough to go on both sides left. Seems like it's enough.
Does it matter which side I put the seam?
No, just make it back
That's what I'm trying to do.
and flat.
It doesn't matter which side.
We need to make sure the whole thing stays one direction, please.
Well, if you want to do it, why don't you just do it?
Okay. Now I'm going to actually start on the side that has a half a block. That way this side will probably end with a half a block and it will probably be equal.
I wonder if it's maybe the internet that's messing with it.
Could be.
Well, this one is blurry as can be. This tablet here, honey. This one is blurry as can be. This here looks clear, it's just having its staticky fuzz thing. Every now and then it's coming and going. I think maybe it's our internet, since our internet is now down to 20.
Probably.
Our horrid internet that doesn't want to work either.
Not much left and then this top will be done.
Diane says she left 2 of her 45 records in the back window of her car and they were ruffles instead of flat. I did that with a VHS tape ages ago from a rental place back when they had movie rental places and VHS tapes. And yes, the top of it got all bubbled from the heat.
So all the way to the end.
Well, that's an interesting use for old records, Heather.
What?
She said that her mom used to put records in the oven to make rippled bowls. Interesting. We used to get lots of old records.
Yeah. Cut this off.
Remember for yard sales, we used to get tons of them. I wonder if we should have done something like that. Tried making something out of them. That's a cool idea.
Bend the edges with a lighter and make frisbees.
There you go.
Alright. I just have one more side to sew on. The whole thing.
Myla says that quilt reminds me of lemonade on a hot day. It
Yep.
does, kinda.
Yep, it definitely has a feel of lemonade. But it's artificial because there's no lemons.
Yeah.
It's artificial lemonade. Talking to it like it's going to listen to me. Do any of you talk to your fabric like it's going to listen? Funny.
Myla says it'd make a good nap quilt for a toddler. That
Like
is
I
a
said,
good
it's going to
idea.
be like 50 something by 50 something. Pretty good size.
Sandy says margarita. I guess instead of lemonade, you know, margarita.
Alright, so I'm going to press it and then reveal. And look, I hooked plenty of pieces together. I knew I was sewing too many.
And they're all saying yes. Heather, June, and Regine all say yes, they talk to their fabric.
Yeah. I don't know why I do. It's not like it's listening.
Mama says she uses the curse words like on Sew Becca's fabric.
Yeah. One more side.
Hi, Patty. Patty says my fabric doesn't listen either.
So mean.
Diane says, if it talks back, be afraid.
Yeah, be very afraid. Okay, now obviously I could do a stay stitch around the whole entire thing. Let me move this stuff out of the way. I could do a stay stitch around the whole entire thing, and that way it doesn't come apart, and a stay stitch is just when you stitch around the whole entire edge. I'm just gonna lay this up here and hold it like that.
That was beautiful.
Can you see it?
This thing's blurry, so I don't know. On here, yes, it looks very beautiful. I don't want to move the camera too much. So, that is amazing.
So there's
I like it, borders and everything. Wow, you are talented.
My 1 yard of background fabric and 1 JellyRoll quilt, and it came out.
You're getting love it, awesome, very, very pretty, looks amazing. Wow, love this.
And it's going to be a square number, so we're just going to get the 1 number.
I'm getting gorgeous.
27 and 27?
54.
It's 54 by 54.
You get a beautiful job, love the quilt, very nice, I love it, awesome. I'm getting ooh ah.
There we go. You can see
Pretty,
most of it.
beautiful.
You could see the most of it. So
I
there
like
it
the
is.
colors, it makes me feel like it's in very cool and comfortable, pretty.
In the back, we'll get all that leftover stuff. I'll put it on the back. Somewhere, somehow, I'll find a fabric that will be great for the backing, and then I'll just build the back with the leftover blocks and the leftover 2.5 inch pieces. Probably have the blocks on one side and the 2.5 inch pieces on the other. Make it split. That would be cute. So there it is. From a JellyRoll that my son bought me for Mother's Day.
Amazing, gorgeous.
I'm not going to handle it too much because,
Beautiful.
again, these could come apart at any time. I did back stitch when I put the twos, or when I was connecting the sets, but if you pull on it, it will come apart. So just be very aware, and if you're going to take it to a long armor, I've done this in my long arming video, it's best to have a stay stitch all the way around it, because we're not sewing your seams. We tack them down when we, stitch around it, basting it, but they can fall apart as we're letting it hang on the long arm. So just know, the tack stitch all the way around would best to keep it from falling apart while it's being moved around and shown and stuff. And I can see already, see there's a seam right here popping, so yep. I'm just gonna put this right here and
Janice says
leave
you
it.
Go girl, beautiful.
There we go.
And
So
says
I
someone is going to
managed
be
to-
lucky to get a great, fabulous quilt from you, Tiffany.
Thank you. Alright, here's all my leftovers that are usable for something on the back. I don't know what I'll put on the back, but I'll do it when I finally get to it. For now, it's just going to hang up there in the closet. The rest of my, I haven't got to it yet, quilts. Alright guys, well I'm going to get off of here. I hope everybody, all of those fathers out there having a wonderful Father's Day. What else?
Yes, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
That's it. That's all I got. I hope everybody else is sewing, having fun, enjoying their day, spending time with family, and all that kind of stuff. And Becca, if you're still here, thank you very much. What else? That's
Sherry
it.
says great tip, Tiffany. We'll remember that. Linda says good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I always stay stitch all the way around, especially open seams, because they're just gonna pop. And by the time you get it to a long armor, if you're a person who takes it to the long armor, or even your own long arm, they'll mostly be popped, and it's just a hassle. So I definitely need to stay stitch around this. But I'm gonna get off of here, and I will see you guys when I see you guys, because I have no schedule. Just know that every Sunday at 5 p.m. I'm here, rain or shine, sick or not, I'm here. So, bye everybody. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging
Bye.
out. I'll see you guys next weekend.
Good night.